Farmers who are properly equipped use a starter on corn, but when it comes to soybeans, the practice is quite rare. In past years, we saw the salt found in most starters hamper soybean germination, especially during dry spring years. Today we are going to look at some starters that have performed well on soybeans over the last 3 years, one of which contains no salt. In conversations with soybean growers in northern climates, the most common question is, what can I do to get my soybeans out of the ground faster, like my starter does for corn? It is the struggle we had on our farm as well. We even tried diluting the low salt starter blends with water to reduce the salt effect, only to see little gain. Remember, a soybean emerges much different than corn. It must push its seed to the surface, losing its seed coat in the process. The seed coat is what gives us a level of tolerance to the salts. Since 2011, we studied over 24 products and/or product combinations in furrow on soybeans to find which one would improve germination rates, speed emergence, and establish a more uniform crop. This ultimately will bring you, the grower, the best return on investment. Let's look at the performance of two methods tested. To start, note that we are using a soybean price of $9.79 per bushel and the most recent 2018 product prices to calculate our ROI. In second place is 3 gallons of 624-6 with 3 gallons of water. This combination increased yields by an average of 1.2 bushel per acre and delivered a positive 83-cent return on investment. The average germination percentage observed was about 95%. In first place is CarbonWorks Restore. CarbonWorks Restore increased yields by an average of 4.5 bushel per acre and delivered a positive $23.06 return on investment over the last 3 years. The average germination percentage is 98.5%. Let's gain a better understanding of why these products performed the way that they did. (624-6) starter fertilizers contain nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, an NPK-based starter. Restore, on the other hand, is a carbon-based starter. The common denominator is the hydrogen attached to nitrogen versus the hydrogen attached to carbon, and the oxygen attached to phosphorus compared to the oxygen attached to carbon. So remember, when we're placing a starter fertilizer, we want to make sure there's a barrier of soil to help reduce that salt effect on that seed. So placing it off to the side or underneath the seed. The salt content has that negative effect on the germination. It has an effect on both the microbial activity around that seed as well as the seed itself, especially with soybean crops. As we alluded to earlier, if we remove that seed coat in the process of germination, we're exposing that fresh tissue of the cotyledon to a salt. So it's very important to watch the salt content on soybeans. What we put in that seed trench, in that furrow, we want it to be safe on the seed, but have the energy and oxygen to help boost that emergence so we get it out of the ground faster and get that early season root developed so when photosynthesis starts, we can uptake the proper amount of nutrients. Should you use a starter on soybeans? AgRevival says yes, but it's necessary to note that the type of product you use matters. Some products are more consistent performers than others, and not all deliver a positive ROI. The two discussed here are just a part of our in-furrow research on soybeans. We have geared our focus to products containing as little salts as possible. To see the complete list of products tested and their results, visit AgRevival.com. And if you have any questions, leave a comment or contact me at natefurley@agrevival.com. We're interested to know, what starters have you tried on soybeans?